Let's talk about Troll, Netflix's latest giant monster caper movie, which takes us all the way to Norway. I will be talking over key bits of the plot and sharing my own personal thoughts and feelings on the film, which means that as per all honest reviews, there will be major spoilers ahead, so you have been warned. The poster for Troll promises that mountains will move, yet those moves aren't necessarily made on the landscape of cinema. Troll doesn't strictly progress into any new territories or do anything truly fresh. Instead, it takes advantage of the giant monster genre, which isn't seen as much as it has been in the past. So actually getting this archetype B-movie is quite a nice change from the plethora of serial killer content that is the biggest trend in horror right now. However, in moving to that B-movie type feel, it also means that Troll is a sum of its parts, all of which come from the big blockbuster jigsaw box. Something very bad is happening and the government don't know what, so they fly helicopters out to pick up an expert in her field as a matter of national security, all to get flown back to headquarters and told to talk in nice small words so they can all understand. But before long, the expertise and words of advice that she gives to the government, which they all originally asked for in the first place, is completely ignored because missiles go bang. Shoot first, ask questions later. Good old cinematic blockbuster military we've got here. And across the board, there's a lot of these super generic entry-level character relationships. Troll absolutely 100% is a big old dumb fun movie, and it knows it. Yet a lot of the stuff in the film still feels more like laziness than tongue-in-cheek self-awareness. Our protagonist here is Nora, a paleobiologist, the person that the Norwegian government seeks out, which is weird in itself because she gets a military chopper to pick her up out of the blue, with armed men telling her that they need her as a matter of national security. Then she's flown to the headquarters to even meet the Prime Minister before asking, is this some kind of joke? Yeah, it's just a huge wind-up. This, love, we just fancied going through all this effort to get a sly one on you. I mean, could you really imagine a government wasting all that taxpayers' money just for their own personal... Oh yeah, actually that is plausible. But regardless, Nora is who we follow. She's got a dad, as lots of people do, Tobias, who is the standard big crazy man who lives in the middle of nowhere who knows more than anyone else. Because when he got this close to revealing the secrets of the trolls, he was silenced by the government. Classic. He and Nora have a bit of a distant relationship. They were best friends as father and daughter, with Tobias telling Nora not to look with her eyes, look with her heart. Yeah, it's one of those moral stories. The ones that mean really well, but you just kind of think, yeah, I've heard that a few times. Nora grew up while Tobias kept believing in the trolls, and the film acts in a certain way where they reconcile with each other. All of that, again, was just par for the course when it comes to these kinds of films, though I did quite like the chemistry between them. In fact, I do think there were some decent humorous moments dotted around the place here. A highlight of mine is Nora's little helper, Andreas, who keeps telling people a story about an idea he's got for a book, about a monk who can tear his own head off and throw it at people to bite them and use his fingers as darts. When I heard that, I sat there thinking, I want to be watching that. Why didn't you make that film instead? However, there are some decent little bits of mythology involved in Troll that at least made it quite interesting. Tobias puts the idea forward that the trolls are literally nature themselves, as they are living rock and have existed for longer than we can imagine. Yet the reason they're such unbelievable beings in the modern world is because fairy tales were invented to turn the trolls into myths as a way to kind of cover up their existence. I actually think that idea is rather cool, definitely the most interesting thing going on at least, but it doesn't really tap into that any more than one line. That's because the rest of the film is just unloading explosives at Troll, who in this film looks a bit like Triple H. You know that when there's a Wilhelm scream involved in an action set piece, you kind of get what caliber this film is. We get the King Kong / Mighty Joe Young / countless other giant monster film trope, where the giant monster in question isn't really a monster at all, and is just a big misunderstood creature. It's the humans who are the monsters. Again, obviously. And come the very end of the film's climax, we get... Wait, what's this? Another troll, hinting at a sequel that'll likely never get financed. Yeah, glorious. Honestly, Troll is what it is. That's the best review I can give. It's a movie you can leave your brain at the door when going to watch it, and you've probably seen 100 things just like it, so even by just listening to the dialogue, you could paint a mental image as to what's happening. It does have some nice, funny little moments between the characters, but it's not really enough to warrant any other response from me than everyone's a cookie-cutter character. Government bad, military bad, violence bad, monsters good, and follow your heart. That's what you have to digest here, and to be honest, you shouldn't have any indigestion because your body's likely used to processing it. Even though I think an hour and 43 minutes is a generous runtime for what this film is, it still kind of flew by for me and didn't particularly bother me. The plot is what you'd expect of the 50s B-movies, so an hour and 15 would have been a nice refreshing duration. However, overall I wasn't fussed. Nothing spectacular, but does what it sets out to do. This film is sadly not as groundbreaking as The Troll itself. However, my opinion isn't absolute, and I'm just a regular guy who watches stuff, so I'd love to hear what you thought about Troll, for better or worse, as well as if you agree or disagree with anything I've said. And that's totally cool, because that's what subjectivity is all about. If you did enjoy this video, a cheeky sub would be much appreciated to help the channel grow and take us to the tops of the mountains ourselves. Just hopefully there won't be anything nasty hiding inside them. I'm Connor from Unleash the Ghouls, and we shall see you next time for another honest review. Cheers out.